Hello and welcome back to Kayfabe Krimes. We're back with another NXT UK review. This was actually a good show. I enjoyed this show as it went by pretty fast. Let's jump right into it. Hey, remember to like, subscribe, share this video with a friend and family. Comment down below what you thought of the show. So, to start off the show, we had Flash Morgan Webster versus Wolfie. If you remember, Flash Morgan Webster slapped Wolfie to set up this match, which I think is the perfect way to set up any match in wrestling. So, this match, Flash Morgan Webster starts off being a little bit of a cheeky lad, not gonna lie. He's very cheeky, slaps Wolfie once, so, ooh, what you gonna do, Wolfie? But then Wolfie very quickly just beats the fuck out of him. Like, Wolfie targets his midsection a lot, on the outside, inside the ring, a lot of submission holds. Flash gets a little bit of offense back in, but then Wolfie breaks it up again, but Wolfie kind of gets Flash Morgan Webster like a fireman's carry move. He's about to do something. Flash Morgan Webster reverses it, hits a beautiful, I believe, a reverse Rana, which looked absolutely fantastic, like, wow. Then hits a Shining Wizard for 2, and I'm like, oh wow, okay. But after that, Flash Morgan Webster goes to the top of the ring ropes, goes to a swanton. Wolfie gets his knees up, and then Wolfie hits what I'm deeming the best spear in WWE, because it's not just a spear. It's a spear that kind of turns into a sideward slam, and that's fucking mint. Beautiful. Wolfie picks up the dub. I thought he was going to lose to Gradwell in his opening match in the Heritage Cup tournament. Now I'm not too sure. We'll have to see where that goes. Let me know what you think. Up next we have a Joe Coffey versus Rampage Brown promo announcing that in 2 weeks it's going to be a knockout or submissions match. It's probably going to be a submission win. I think a knockout will maybe bury one of the two, but unless they both get knocked out. But I don't think so. I think they want this to be conclusive. I think Rampage might win and Joe Coffey might go to the US. Who knows? He'd do great in the US, I think. Then Mark Andrews and Danny Luna were backstage, like, oh yeah, Flash did well, you know, put up a good fight. And then in the background, Isla Dawn is just like being a little bit creepy. She's like looking at Danny Luna, and she's like, she's trying to touch Danny Luna. Danny Luna's like, back off. And I'm like, this seems like an HR violation. Someone should tell HR about this, because that's not okay. Okay. Then we get another backstage, and I think this, apart from the main event, was the highlight of the night. Muscles Mansion are backstage, and you know those like massage therapy things that are oftentimes not used for massage therapy, if you know what I mean. Tyler's just using it on his face, and he's like, yeah man, this is really good, this feels really good. And then Trent is there with like some sort of hook. I don't know, man. I go to the gym and I pick up a couple of weights. I don't know what the hook's for. But they're like, yeah, we're gonna beat Pretty Deadly next week. Tyler's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a Grand Slam champion and just gonna get Trent his first title in NXT UK, which I guess, yeah, is true, but they won the NXT tag titles on a UK show, so I don't know. It's not gonna be Wolfie's first title in NXT as a whole, but in NXT UK, not Wolfie, Trent's. And Trent, when Tyler says this, Trent's like, he's taken aback a bit. He's like, yeah, you're right, it is my first one. So either that's one, this was completely unscripted and Trent didn't realise he had never won a title in the UK, or that's laying the groundwork for something there. And if that is laying the groundwork for something, Trent versus Tyler Bate, maybe a heel Trent 7, beautiful. Tyler drops that Heritage Cup to someone, Trent turns on him, beautiful, I love it. That's just beautiful. But anyway, we're moving on to another backstage. NXT UK has a lot of backstages, I'm not gonna lie. For an hour, they shove in a lot of backstage stuff. So Slimy Sid, yeah, he comes into his office. Ginny and Joseph Collins are there, and it's like, Ginny, Joseph Collins, you guys are gonna have a no DQ match next week. And Ginny's like, beautiful, love it, you did something good. Connor's like, you did something good for once. And then he's like, Connors, you're going to be locked in the cage, which explains why Eva Valkyrie was next to a cage. last week, which I think I might have alluded to, thinking, oh, maybe Joseph Connor's going to be locked into it, but also, why cage? Makes sense. Joseph Connors is going to be in the cage. Aoife Valkyrie is going to win that match. Is it in 2 weeks? I think it's in 2 weeks' time. I don't remember. Maybe next week. 2 weeks, I think. Then we have a women's match. Nina Samuels versus Amal. Obviously, this is built off Amal attacked Nina Samuels when she was confronting Meiko Satomura. Nina Samuels then attacks Amal inside like the backstage makeup area last week to set up this match. This match was really aggressive. I think this was one of the more aggressive matches. I think probably the most aggressive match of the night, which is really good characterization from the two of them. I really wish they would shine a little bit more light on their women's division, because they have a lot of fantastic women's talent in NXT UK. But yeah, so Samuel starts off aggressive, then Amal gets some aggression, and this match was very good because there was a lot of back and forth. No one was dominating too much. Like, they would each go off on like lengths of having control, but in the end, Samuels gets caught in the ropes. Actually, one cool thing Nina Samuels did was she hit a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, then powered Amal into a second one. Sick. But anyway, Nina Samuels gets caught in the ropes. Amal hits like a modified backbreaker. Jeez, I'm going fast. And then she kind of does her, I thought I heard someone call it a heartbreaker, but I think I misheard Nigel saying short spine buster. Don't know how those two are the same. And Mel gets the 3. I was surprised. I thought maybe Nina Samuels would pick this up, but they did. They're doing this thing where they hold way too much on people when they're in the ring after matches. Like I saw this last week with the Blair Davenport match. Like, they held on her way too long. They held on Mel for way too long too. I'm like, God, you guys record these in bulk. Like, you can edit that shorter, guys. And Nina Samuels, you could see her sat in the background, but again, it's because they're holding on that shot for way too long. But I digress, you know. We move on to another video promo, but it was the Walter Ilya Dragunov video promo, which was great. It's a beautiful promo. It shows a lot of their last match. It also showed Ilya versus what's his name? Bitter End, Pete Dunne. That shows their match from 2 days ago, and then Walter attacking, then Ilya kind of touching the belt. I'm like, oh, Ilya, don't do that. You might lose the match if you do that. But I digress. That's going to be a fantastic match. That's going to be the match of TakeOver. It might be the match of the year for WWE, if not for all of wrestling, because Walter, Ilya, great wrestlers. Then we get Then we get this completely weird backstage, which might have only been for the network. I don't know if they'd show this on BT Sports, but it was like Symbiosis from 2 weeks ago come backstage, and they're like, oh, we lost. And then Saxon Huxley, the greatest wrestler in the world, who should truly be the Universal Champion, in my opinion. Saxon Huxley comes backstage, and he's just like, yeah, it was a good effort, or something. And he's just walking around, and I'm like, are you setting up Saxon Huxley with Symbiosis, or Saxon Huxley versus Eddie Dennis? Is Saxon Huxley getting a push finally? Let's go! Saxon Huxley for Universal Champion. Draft him to SmackDown. Get him to beat the Tribal Chief at WrestleMania in the main event. That's what you need to do. Moving on. Okay, another backstage. There's 2 more, okay, including this one. Meiko Satomura and Stevie Turner's video promo. It's very official. I like it. I like when they've got the wrestlers in the foreground and the NXT UK in the background in neon. I really like those. So Meiko was saying she's going to teach Stevie respect, and Stevie's like, I've worked my way up. And I'm like, Stevie, you've been there for like 2 months, right? You've been there for 2 months? That's fast. I respect that. That's good. That is getting that far in 2 months. I respect that. Then we've got Pretty Deadly in what looks like to be a warehouse, and they're like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Big Strong Boys, you're good. Mustache Mountain, you say you're the best, but you're just going to be the best team we've beaten. And yeah, Pretty Deadly is going to beat them. I don't think Mustache Mountain will pick up those titles. I think that's to serve a bigger thing with Tyler and Trent, maybe as individuals against one another. But we finally get to the first match in the Heritage Cup tournament. Mandrews versus Noam Dar, We're going to go through this round by round. Round 1. Very fast action. They're feeling each other out. A lot of confidence and cockiness in both of them, but no falls. They're both kind of like teasing each other at points. Round 2 starts off with a battle of strength, like Mandrews is showing off his strength, but Dar absolutely dominates this entire round for almost the whole 3 minutes. Last 10 seconds, Mandrews gets control back, but after 10 seconds, it's up. The round's up. He loses his momentum, which they really hit on very well on commentary. We've got 2 great commentators. Round 3. Dar and Andrews are really kicking each other's legs, which becomes important for the rest of the match. Like, they're annihilating each other's legs. And then Teoman and Raju come out, and I'm like, why? And especially Teoman and Raju come out, but Noam Dar is the one that gets distracted the most, and Noam Dar is the heel here. Like, surely it would make more sense for Mandrews to get distracted, unless I'm not 100% sure how the bracket goes. But I don't think Dar and Teoman are on the same side, unless that's setting up the final, Dar versus Teoman, because I think Teoman is going to win the entire thing. But yeah, that kind of confused me as to why he came out. But anyway, Andrews sort of somehow hits a I think he reverses something and hits a stun dog millionaire. Dar rolls to the outside, very smart. Then Mandrews comes in and hits a suicide dive. Hits a suicide dive, throws Dar in the ring. He tries to go for some sort of flipping move, but he gets caught in midair by Noam Dar. Noam Dar locks in like an ankle/knee lock bar thing. It's like an ankle lock, but they're lying down. And okay, that's probably actually how ankle lock is supposed to be in UFC fighting. But anyway, Mandrews taps very fast because obviously Dar's been working over his knee. Very, very smart. Anyway, round 4, Mandrews absolutely goes for Dar's leg. Yeah, he's like going for it. Then Dar tries to hit Mandrews with the same thing he did last time, so he tries to catch a Mandrews leg. Mandrews rolls that out and rolls it into a pin for 3. So obviously 2 falls in 2 rounds. There's 2 rounds left. Who's going to win? Round 5 comes up. Both of them are targeting each other's legs. They're kicking each other's legs. And at this point, Dar is kind of in the middle of the ring. Mandrews goes for 619. Dar catches it into a ankle lock, but he rolls out of it. But then Dar goes for his finisher. He misses. Andrews reverses that. Then Andrews reverses it into like a slam. Andrews goes to the top rope, but he's taking way too long. I'm like, dude, your leg is injured. Why are you going to the top rope? Dar's like, I'm thinking the same thing. He comes up and kicks him in the leg, and so he falls down. Then Dar's distracted by Danny Luna, and I'm like, I guess it makes sense because he's a heel, but also, like, dude, like, you just got Mandrews down. Mandrews comes over and hits Dar on the back. Dar kicks him back in the knee. He's on the floor. Dar goes in the corner, sets up his finisher, which is like this running drop kick type super kick for 3. Show finishes about 5 minutes early, which was a surprise to me. I think maybe they could have gone one more round on this and used up your whole hour, but I don't know. They went over last week, so maybe runoffs. I think points of that match I didn't fully understand, like Teoman coming out but Dar being the one distracted. It kind of, maybe Dar is turning, I don't know. But it was a very good match, and it was a great NXT UK, and it flew by like that. So, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this week's episode of NXT UK. Like, subscribe, share the video with a friend or family member, and hey, I hope you go and watch some great wrestling.